Bryan Sugar is the founder of Sugar Inc. It's a popular media company that is now trying to get into the strange world of virtual gaming with Pop Sugar Retail Therapy. And he's joining us today. Thanks so much for joining us in the studio.
No, thanks for having us. We're excited to show you our new game, which launches tonight.
So you've built a brand on several blogs that are very popular, all geared towards women. How did that lead to a game that's supposed to be the Farmville for shopping? I mean, how do you connect the dots here?
Well, for us, we've built a pretty large audience of women, 18 to 40-year-olds, and we have kind of gotten a little addicted to finding different revenue streams that we can put on top of this media company. So we started off with display advertising. We moved into search advertising with ShopStyle. We've moved into the local area with our acquisition of Fresh Guide, and now tonight we're launching our game called Retail Therapy.
This is fully available on the Facebook platform, right? So talk me through the game, and one of the things I noticed in this game is that it's trying to create a real-world, virtual world partnership with several brands. For example, Diane von Furstenberg, Barney's New York, Topshop.
The idea is that you are running your own fashion boutique, so you start off with not a lot of money and not a lot of stuff and not a lot of shoppers, and your goal is to build a thriving boutique with the best brands. And I think the difference between what we've done and some of the other games out there is we're actually working with some top brands, as you mentioned, and you can actually buy their virtual goods inside the game and stock your store with it. And I've been playing for almost a week now, so I have a store that's
So which one are you here?
So that's me right there, and that's my wife Lisa,
Okay.
who actually started Pop Sugar.
I see. So there are no male avatars, or you just picked a female avatar?
Not yet. We get that question a lot.
Yeah.
I think men are to come, but right now
your sweet demographic is women 18 to 40. Like
right, exactly.
Okay.
So you can totally dress your avatar.
I love your dress.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Well, here let's change it up a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe we'll try this dress, that's kind of.
So there's just a catalog, and you can kind of sift through the catalog. There's Tory Burch, Banana Republic. So this is great advertising for them, right?
Sure.
And I'm assuming that the partnerships that you have, they pay you. How does that economic model work?
Sure. I mean, we have a great relationship with them, both on the Pop Sugar side for advertising, and then on the ShopStyle side for all the search commerce that we do. And we're extending that relationship to here as part of the game.
A lot of viral games in the past, for example, Farmville and a lot of the Zynga games, relied on the fact that you could post all these updates, friends would see it, and then they would also get roped into the game as well. Where do you see your great marketing push? Is it through that system, or are you using something else?
So, I mean, we certainly will do that, and we'll follow all the right rules and regulations there. But one of the advantages that we have as Pop Sugar as a whole network and community, we're going to be using our 16 million monthly uniques to just really advertise this a lot on our sites, and we'll have weekly contests. Who can have the best store? Who has the best avatar? We'll announce new brands that are part of it. There's a ton of things that we'll be able to do on our content sites because it's the same audience.
There have been a lot of virtual gaming sites that have not done so well. I mean, There.com recently hit the dead pool just a few months ago, right? So was it a challenge to decide to go into something like virtual gaming, which can be somewhat of a risky operation?
Probably yes, but we constantly are innovating at our company. I mean, we have this huge audience of people, and there's a lot of companies that come and buy display advertising on our sites, and a lot of those happen to be game companies, so they want our audience to come play their games, and they can afford our advertising prices. So we kind of said, well, if they can afford it, well, how about we use some of our advertising space and some of our promotional capabilities to promote our own game that we develop. So we think we have a pretty good advantage since we have such a large audience on the Pop Sugar side and ShopStyle. It will just take time to see if it actually works.
You have a large audience, but you don't necessarily have the infrastructure of like an MVU or a Zynga, right? This is your first foray into gaming. So there's a lot of stuff that is different than what a typical media publishing company would have to do. What are some of the things that you had to add on to make sure that there was enough support? For example, I was looking at some of your message boards, and people were complaining, about the customer service. Is that something you still have to build out? How do you plan to have the infrastructure to support a service like this?
Sure. So we have a pretty great blogging platform that hundreds of thousands of people use, and we have customer service community managers that help those out. We're going to have to rapidly follow that model here, because the rate of adoption of people using it and people talking about various different issues and problems that they have, we're going to have to offer that level of support that I think we knew we had to, but we didn't think we'd have to do it so quickly. But we certainly have to have those, game managers, managing this.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to the world of fashion and trends and women, things can be a bit finicky. Trends come and go, right? So things that are popular one day are not popular the next day. How do you create a site and an app that will have a long-term horizon?
Sure. So all of the assets that you see in the catalog, these are all managed by a content management system, much like we manage our posts and galleries and videos on PopSugar. We manage these game assets in the same sort of way. So when something big happens last night at whatever award show, and we want to quickly deploy new, dresses or skirts or shoes, it's very easy for us to rapidly get those uploaded into the content management system and out into the actual game. So you'll see this catalog just refresh pretty quickly with the different seasons and what's selling and what's not.
So you launched the site, a soft launch, roughly last week, right? So what have been the numbers so far? I know you started off with some family and friends, a small group, right?
We started out with a small group, less than 100 folks, and we did that, I guess, less than a week ago. And now we're closing in on 4,000 people playing it, which is completely remarkable because we haven't talked about it at all. I mean, just the Facebook wall posts and a couple of Twitter things here and there, but it's gotten to a point where there are people playing that I don't even know who they are.